What's up, citizen? Welcome to our YouTube channel, The Powerhouse Podcast. My name is Gideon Degwa, and I'm with my co-host
Daniel Nyaga, aka General.
Yes, and we go straight back into our conversation. Kama uja watch our previous podcast, please do so. Go and watch, and of course, give us that subscription. Tashukuru sana. Yes, and of course, as I always say, chukua kura yako ndio itakuwa future yako. Sawa? Twende kazi. So, let's go straight in.
To where?
M23 Goma conflict. Yeah, it's alleged that Rwanda is funding the M23.
That is what the president said.
Which president?
The president of Congo.
Yes, the president of Congo. If we can go back history, if we can go back during the colonial period, the Belgium and the German and the French, they came and decided that, hey, look, we are going to divide these Africans according to some lines, and they called it boundaries. So separations happened. That's why today we have Maasais in Kenya and we have Maasais in Tanzania.
Luyas
in Uganda
and Kenya.
Yes. Now, it also affected Congo and Rwanda. The Tutsi tribe were found in Tutsi Rwanda and Tutsi Congo. Now, the Tutsi in
and Kagame is a Tutsi or the other?
Kagame is Tutsi. Now, the Congolese are saying that these Tutsi are not Congolese. They are Rwandese.
They should go back to their country.
Yes.
So that is the source of the M23.
They do not deserve, the what do you call it? The rights that citizens do have, like for example to vote, economically, and of course the resources that are within that east part region of Congo,
which is very rich in minerals.
So you find that these people had to defend themselves. The Tutsis now in Congo. So they formed now the M23 to liberate their peoples, to fight for their rights, And of course, there are a lot of things which are involved, because the French are also involved, because they also want to destabilize, that part of the country so that they can enjoy the minerals. Divide and rule. So, Kagame comes blazing and says, you know what? M23 is not Rwandese, M23 is Congolese, and if you, Ramaphosa, you have a problem with me, you come directly, don't go through corners, and we are ready to do whatever you want to do, or you want us to do.
It's like declaring war.
It's like why?
Okay, I don't have a very rich history of that place, but according to what I've learned with Kagame, by the way, Kagame has a history of, even before he became the president of Rwanda, do you know he was the assistant to Museveni?
Oh, really?
Yes. If you read history, when Museveni was in the bush, Kagame was his deputy. Actually, they conquered first
Uganda.
Yes. Kagame left Uganda after even Museveni has been. His troop has taken over taken over the government.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Kagame was the assistant of Museveni in the bush. Then he went now to liberate his country because he had come like a somehow refugee. His country was not very well established.
Rwanda now.
So with the Jeshi and the military experience, he went again and liberated.
I understand he was trained by the US.
Kagame,
Yeah.
military,
yes.
Probably. But they were in the bush with Museveni to remove. Who was there? Who was removed by Museveni? I don't know. Is it Mbote? So, hearing another allegation again in the Mpaka.
So he's very good in he wants battles.
In neighbors, yeah.
So
he can assist neighbors to get what they want because he really assisted Museveni to get it done. So when I've heard those news of Kagame is being involved and the way you have brought it about Tutsi living there, I would tend to think yes, he might be somehow involved, and every country would want to get, if we have a heritage somewhere, we'd like to get something from it and also grow our country home. I hear even Somali have a lot of interest in Somalia itself and the likes of Isa and whatever. And there are to some extent it normally have connection with those people, the Al-Shabaab. So to me, I would take it serious. The president of Congo is not a fool.
Yeah, because allegedly, the president of Congo is saying that Rwanda is funding the M23.
It can.
Because Rwanda wants to take the resources that are in that part.
Yeah, and the politics of resources they are there. You remember even when Uhuru Kenyatta was there, we almost went to war with Somalia. I think that case has never been resolved. Boundary there in Indian Ocean.
Kismayo, was it Kismayo?
Is it Kismayo? I think it is. No, Kismayo is a dry land somewhere. I don't know what it is called, but it is rich in petroleum. So every country would like to claim, especially when you are close to the boundary. So the politics of boundary have been there even with Museveni and Kenyatta. I don't know whether it was Museveni or the previous government. I remember Kenyatta saying nobody can tunya us and whatever, and don't touch even an inch of Kenya. He declared war. It was this the dictator who was used to be carried by Wazungu.
Idi Amin.
Idi Amin was told by Kenyatta not even an inch. He wanted to take Naivasha. He was told Kenya will not even lose an inch. And it is the same language that Uhuru used and the Somali wakaona hii ni moto. He's talking like his father. Because Uhuru said, musitujaribu, naona mnataka tujaribu. About that politics of that comeback. So I think Kagame is into it, and creating that picture of minerals and his people living there, he might be involved strongly in that war. And a president has a lot of information. He has his NIS like Kawas and level, which gives you information. He cannot be wrong to that level that he would just wake up to accuse another counterpart, another president just for nothing.
But now you see, our president, William Ruto, calls for dialogue and calls for a meeting for the East African head of states.
To create a solution.
To find a solution. Yeah? But the president, DRC president, says he's a little bit busy. I will not show up for that meeting. Niko na kashughuli mahali. And you see, this is your country that you're talking about. You are finding for a solution for your country.
But you know,
why not show up? If you have a disagreement between me and Kagame, let me go and sort out the problem. Maybe we can find a solution there. Why not show up?
Maybe you see, even in a normal situation, you see when ni ile mkutano ya fisi, mkutano ya ati fisi na nini zimekuja pamoja na zimeita sungura na swara. kuja tuongee, tusikizane kwa tutaishi kwa msitu. Maybe that is what, maybe he looked at everything and saw that Ruto is likely to align himself
with Rwanda and
Rwanda.
But you see, Ruto is just a chair. He's not the decision maker.
Yes.
We tumeitana kamkunji. But tuko na shida.
Who do you think in the Jumuiya would support Congo? I don't even think Museveni. Museveni is a very friendly man.
Museveni is also linked in that
Yes,
in that thing allegedly. It's also alleged that Uganda troops are also in that place.
You see.
And they are also supporting.
And those are the key Jumuiya members. The first Jumuiya members is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Rwanda came there after, which is also older than the Congo. Congo is, I think, our last born, because we later were joined by South Sudan. Congo is just, I think, 2 years or 3.
But we are looking for a solution.
As the president of Congo, na mimi nalimu, wanaangalia mabazu na kwanza ni wao wananilima ati twende tuongee.
Let's talk. Let's dialogue.
You must create tension. You see, eventually you come to talk, but I must create a tension, or I must create a picture to let you know if venye mnanipangia na jua before I come to a meeting. It is good to let the enemies know whatever you are planning. I know it. So I think eventually you come, but it was a good statement to me. If he's sure of what he's doing, it is a good statement to make to those people in the negotiating table, so that it does not appear like nyinyi wazuri na nyinyi mnanilima then mnaniita tuongee. Jueni nyinyi ndio the cause of what I'm going through before I come.
Yes. But looking at how the citizens in that part of Goma, how they celebrated the M23, then I'm confused. Is M23 the enemy, or is the government the enemy of the people? The citizens were celebrating with
of that region.
Yes, they were celebrating with the
M23.
With the M23 for conquering that place. Then you wonder, so the government is the problem here.
Sometimes it's not the government. Sometimes the machineries against you might come with a lot of energy.
You know, for the citizens even going ahead and torching the Kenyan government, the French government, not government, the embassies.
The embassies.
Yes. You see, the people are angry.
I think they have been fed with that act, because this war of Mipaka is not just done just like that. It also involves some groundwork. You may radicalize people of that area for you so that you benefit. You may tend to, you don't know, maybe Kagame has been doing this groundwork for so long, to a time when the establishment of M23, maybe it is out of radicalization that M23 is formed. It's not just people being brought together and forming M23. So you may not be aware that somebody is doing a lot of groundwork, and when they erupt, they come with a lot of loyalty that you have never seen. You're asking yourself, are these my people?
Congo has a lot of militias. M23 is just one of them.
Yes, but maybe the celebration might have appeared in that just the concerned region.
I think the problem here is the government, because when the government fails to govern, people look for a plan B. And militias and the rebels becomes the plan B for the citizens, because if you cannot protect us as the government,
but
we are paying taxes to the government.
Sometimes these radical institutions or organizations, sometimes they are not, but they are the ones in the ground. Even when Mungiki was very powerful, it was illegal, but it was reasoning with the people on the ground illegally, but reasoning with them very well about Kehe, about what this is what Mungiki should do, which is illegal. But when you give them, if the government is not prepared enough or is not aware enough of things being done on the ground, when such organizations appear, wanakuanga wameteka the whole community around, even those you thought that they are with the government, they are against you totally because it has taken time to radicalize them very well. And I think that is what has happened in that region.
So my problem is by the time this M23 is radicalizing the citizens all that time, that is not a one-day event.
Yeah, it is not.
This is something that
even years.
has gone for years. Where has the government been?
That maybe now that is taking things easy without looking at the third eye,
I think the leadership, the top leadership of Congo has always been a problem. They tend to reason with the colonizers more.
Yeah, even their music is all about French and whatever.
They tend to reason with the French so much that they forget about their own people.
Their own people. Yeah.
And that's why the people tends to, they don't care about the government. The person who is reasoning with us is the rebels.
Yeah, we just
follow them.
I think that is one failure that the government of DRC has been failing to.
Because even if you look at, even I was watching some documentaries about the roads in Congo.
Very pathetic.
Very pathetic. It can take you days to move from here to Rift Valley.
I think there are some countries which are still colonized and they don't know. Or they know but they are ignorant. Yani, you just got that title, you are independent, but the colonizer is around and very much around. Full time.
I think that's why you are seeing the coming up of the likes of Ibrahim Traore.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because of such kind of stupidity leadership, sorry to say, that is happening in Congo and some part of Western Africa.
I think I normally even blame South Africa. They need to, and that's why Malema talks about it so much. I think they still have a collaboration with those colonizers. They are not fully dependent.
But you see, South Africa is a different case. South Africa, I think...
Politically,
their population has a lot of white people who are South Africans.
So they tend to differ.
And that's why you can say South Africa in terms of development is, you cannot compare it with very Kenya or any country in East Africa.
Some people argue that when the earlier the colonizers leave, the more you are
poor.
Yeah. So they got independent just 1990s.
Yes, and even after independence, most of the whites did not leave. And they became South Africans.
So they freely invest there.
Yes. And that's why you can see that country in terms of development, you cannot compare. That, and that's why I tend to agree, and that this brings us to the next topic, Trump. I tend to agree with Trump coming in and, putting all these sanctions on the aid and the help that he's giving to Africans. Because I tend to agree with him. It cannot be 50 years later, you don't have your own hospitals.
Actually,
50 years later, you cannot develop your own country to have roads.
50 years later, there are some people who are
learning under a tree. Exactly. 50 years later, there are no schools.
In that region is where we depend.
There is oil, yes, as a natural resource in Turkana.
So,
50 years later, you cannot afford to buy your own medicine.
Even to pay your doctors.
Well. And then you come here and tell us you have the budget to buy for military equipment so that you can buy a bullet to shoot another African. You have that money, hiyo pesa iko. So you have so much money to buy, guns and bullets to kill your fellow Africans 50 years later, but you don't have money to invest in your health care.
About the healthcare system. By the way, and I saw even, I don't know whether it is true, but I saw that speech of talking about the same president of Somalia, of the USA.
Yes.
He said these Africans, they are the richest in minerals.
Yes, exactly. We are the richest in minerals, but
50 years
we
later,
have nothing.
They are languishing in poverty. And the way Uhuru said, let it be a wake-up call.
Yes.
And I think PLO Lumumba talks too much, but it makes a lot of sense only that all these African leaders, they have decided to assume him. But even in terms of food security, PLO normally tells us that Africa is rich in soil, in everything, and we can feed ourselves.
Do you know how embarrassing it is in 21st century for a country like Kenya to have an initiative like Kenyans for Kenyans?
Ati mtu amekufa njaa.
In 21st century, and then you come broadly unakuja kutuambia ati we have minerals in Turkana. We have a lot of oil in Turkana. But the people of Turkana, you will have to die for quite some period.
And you are dying of hunger.
You are dying because of hunger. You have nothing to eat. It's the same thing that is happening in Congo. You see, these people are fighting because of these resources, but you forget that a Congolese will not take a gold and eat in the evening.
So me, I normally see it as the same way Akina Trump are saying we are rich in minerals. I think to some extent they are also sarcastic, because they are the ones
taking the minerals
and causing all those M23 and whatever, so that they can have that chance. Those countries rich in, we had Gaddafi. Gaddafi had taken it to Nakifua to liberate Africa.
Only for Obama to...
But what did Obama do to him? So if Trump really mean it, then let us have that freedom when we decide.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
If we decide, let them give us space with our minerals. Let not them interfere with our minerals. We will.
Where will we take the mineral? We don't have the way. We don't have the means.
We have Arabs. Arabs have not different.
We don't have the means.
Consumers.
We don't have the means of extracting these minerals. And once we do, you see what the history has it. Like the likes of Mobutu Sese Seko, what he did for his country. He took all the minerals, created the palace for himself. You know, that greedy character, it
is in Africa. It is in Africa. It is enough. I think it is an African thing to do. Because even our first president, that is what he did.
Yes, because
tumepata independent, lakini mabeberu ameenda, kumbe mbeberu sasa amekuwa mbeberu Mwafrika.
Because we must have that conversation. As for example, I don't think Jomo Kenyatta was born with all that huge piece of land.
By the way, story of Jomo Kenyatta kwanza it pieces me.
It's a very sensitive issue to discuss.
Yeah,
but I don't think his grandfather was that wealthy enough that he had land in coastal region where people are squatters.
It is out of his him getting to power. That is when he acquired all that. You know, Kenyatta ananikazirishanga because when Mau Mau fought for independence, he calls them at Rorengo and tells them warudishe gun, now we are independent. Then the Mau Mau ask him, sasa juu tumemaliza vita, can we have now our land back, because that is what we have been fighting for. Kenyatta tells them, hakuna kitu ya bure. Ati sasa mimi nimetoka kwa msitu nianze kutafuta mzungu mahali alikuwa anakaa ninunue hiyo mahali alikuwa anakaa pazuri mahali alinifukuza. That was Kenyatta telling Mau Mau when wametoka sasa umepata kiti juu yao.
Sasa hizo Mau Mau walikuwa
yet he has an agenda. How comes now after telling them kununua hii shamba yote ni kununua, alinunua kweli hii yenye anakuwa nayo? It pisses me off. Like one of the people who brought
a very sad affair.
You see, when I normally read history here about Mau. That time I was very interested with when Kindiki came into power and everything, and something popped up like when Kimathi died, The person who took over was a Meru called Baimunge, General Baimunge in Meru. His family up to date,
They are languishing in
poverty, they don't even have a piece of land. What they have, Kasimoa, it is still in dispute. Baimunge, the person who took over from Kimandi, actually it is Baimunge who now handed over what we have as independence. Like he was now the forefront. Yes, Kimandi died in the battle, but getting that independent, the soldier now.
But even Kimathi family, you cannot say that they are living that well.
Wale majamaa watoto wake wanaishi kwa nyumba za mbao zile ziko na mashimo. They have nothing. And it is, they talk saying that the first minister of Kenyatta ni aliwanyang'anya, sijui alikuwa anaitwa nini, the first of that region.
Akawanyang'anya land.
Yeah. And Baimunge was killed by Kenyatta after he refused kutoka kwa msitu. After alikataa hiyo story ya unatuambia tununue shamba na ndio tumepigania. Akaambia soja wake turudi kwa msitu. Then Kenyatta declared that anyone who is in the forest, Mau Mau is a terrorist. Is a terrorist in any group. I declare Mau Mau as a terrorist group. So if you find Baimunge, deal with him. And Baimunge was dealt with and other Mau Maus. So mwenye umepigania amepata uongozi. Now you kill me. You kill my people and you deny me even land and my grandchildren. So bad.
You see what I normally say is land is...
No wonder Bandi is very unhappy.
Who?
Bandi, the minister. There were some injustices that were done because of people.
Yes, but the injustice was happening to the people. To the people. So don't attack the people. Well, the moment you attack the people, you get it wrong. Because even the people from Central Region, they don't have the land. They don't have it.
Hata nyumba ya Kimathi na naanga juu ni mawe mzuri hapo mzuri nini. Akona kalanda na yesa mtu hawezi nyang'anya land.
But you know
even there is
you can't compare.
You know there is no even a school called General Baimunge. Yani
with Kenyatta family.
Inaniumanga like yes, Kimathi was a great soul.
And these are conversations that we must have, whether we like it or this is a conversation that we must
coming
have.
From that region nasemanga.
It's a sensitive issues, but we must have that conversation.
When we talk about Mau, direct kichwa ni Kimathi wa Shioli. Yani Baimunge hata kuangi kwa picha ni mtu tu mwanasiasa fulani akiwa Meru. Sema General Baimunge ndio tukumbuke kulikuwa na jamaa Musa Mwaliama. Very great people. Conversation inapoteleanga the main central.
Yeah, I believe the people from Meru and Embu community in that they contributed a lot.
Yes, but they are never recognized. Even the body of General Baimunge is still somewhere where it is cannot be identified. Watu wanasemanga nasikianga aliziko hapa somewhere in around the DO's office. Yani hata watoto wake hawajaipata mwili ya General.
But you see, that's why we are here.
And it is
today we are having conversation of the general that even myself I never knew him.
It is painful because Kimathi.
But today we are having conversation about him.
We cannot trace the body of Kimathi because of we can blame it the colonialists.
But
for General Baimunge, colonialists went away and left General Baimunge alive. Yet his family cannot find his body.
We should go and
because of a black man in power.
We should go and look for those old people, not old people, those heroes who fought for our land to give us those stories.
And again, they are
because those are the people who can give us the story. We don't know the story, and if the story was not told to us, we cannot narrate it. We can never know. And for example, that general, I never knew about it.
Very powerful.
I've heard it.
Musa Mariamwa, the eyes only, the eyes have it. He would scare the colonialist with his eyes. And he died very foolishly. In Ukambani, someone was biting by a snake. Because he was too low, nothing has been elevated in his life. Ati alikuwa ananyonya sumu. His mentality was still bushy. He has not been civilized, yet he has a chance. Sorry, he died nyonyali the sumu.
The sumu ya
mwenye ameumwa. Unfortunately, alimeza akati. A freedom fighter dying because of such useless gift. Where was the government to protect Musa Mwaliama? What was Musa Mwaliama doing in Ukambani when he should be resting with princesses around him in men? Ati anaenda kutoa mtu sumu.
He died in Ukambani.
Yeah, ati akivuta nini mtu sumu ya nyoka.
What was he doing in Ukambani?
I wonder. Yeah, I blame the government. They should not have allowed Musa Mwaliama, knowing his status and his traditions,
to come out of his cocoon.
Yes. Actually, he would have provided security to guard Mwaliama.
That is interesting. Now, talking about Meru, Embu, you know, politics, and now the East, the Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. We recently we saw our former deputy Rigiji, you know, coming out, you know, and try to look for other friends across the country, and you know, trying to mobilize it to of course replace this government come next election, because anything to say at Ruto must go, people should forget about it. Ruto can only go during the ballot, during a general election. He can only go through a ballot. So there was that that meeting that happened during the launching of DAP Kenya, the new headquarters, and Rigiji was among the invited guests, and he created a lot of.
And why was Rigiji invited as a party leader?
As a person of interest.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe the Eugene Wamalwa can tell us why he invited you.
But he's a person of interest. You cannot throw him away at this season.
So how do you take that thing, that meeting out?
I would say what Nelson Havi said somewhere in an interview. Yes, William Ruto is not running this government the way he promised, or the way we would have wanted him to run this government. But those people who are there, Kina Gachagua, Kina Wamalwa, Kina Kalonzo, they are not the solution. These are just other monkeys with similar characteristics of that of Ruto, only that they are not in that position where Ruto is. So Nelson Havi is saying that if we want to liberate this country, we must think of a very new breed, and not those people who join when they taking advantage of. Like he was saying that there is a tribe that he calls the Gen Z, and these people want to take that tribe into their tribal cocoon. You know, another tribe. There are three forces. First force, the government. Second force is the political elite, and then who are in the opposition. Now there is the third force, which mostly these politicians are ignoring, the Gen Z, and who happens to be the majority. And those who are not ignoring, they are taking advantage of it, and they want to recruit them there in their own thinking of tribalism. And if you look at how Gachagua is communicating lately, he does not finish his statement without mentioning Gen Z, without mentioning you young people. You young people take votes. You young people, can you get your IDs? You young people, can you register voters? As for me, this is something that I've actually noticed. Yes, for me, I don't know whether it is possible, but if it was possible, I would like to just. We have another new people. There are some people who they have been around, and they will just behave the same, only that they are not in those positions. They have real motives. But there are new people who are fresh. We have the Inject Party. It's very fresh, very new. For me, why don't you support him? I can support Matiang'i. Leave alone the other man, the Morara. I don't like the politics of Morara because
But Matiang'i has always been there.
No.
You see,
he has been there just for a while, and he has been a
shown us.
technocrat, and he has shown us he can work.
No, he has shown us that he can take people to Yala. He has shown us that he can come in as a lecturer who was being paid 70,000. But it's the truth. He came in as a lecturer from Kenyatta University. He was earning, okay, put it maximum 200,000. He came in Uhuru's government and he left a billionaire.
What do you expect? You see, sometimes I know
earning $1 million to become a billionaire.
Sometimes if you are innovative enough.
Yes, but Matiang'i, share the idea, share.
By the way, some of us, we just need.
But it's a formidable force.
Some of us feel that we just need 1 month's salary of Ruto, and we will change our life completely.
Forever.
Imagine. And Ruto will have that salary for 5 years or more. We will succeed.
Actually,
imagine,
you know,
I looked 10 years later telling him, why are you a multi-billionaire?
It's because nothing is working in this country in terms of business. Every employer is complaining that the environment that you are in, because of taxes and all the regulations that you have put in place, it's becoming very difficult for us to conduct our business and to create employment. But you,
these big fish, you know,
within 1 year, like for example, Kindiki, you came in, your net worth was 580. No. Then after 1 year, you have been
2 years.
It was 1 year and some few months.
8. And he only added 200 million.
You have added 200 million. Do you know what is 200 million?
This is a professor, very innovative.
A portfolio of 200 million.
This is a professor, very innovative. And you know,
1 year, which company? Now I see Safaricom, ama EABL.
By the way, these people, you see, the more you get,
you know, that's pure profit. You have managed to grow your asset
by 200 million.
By 200 million.
2 years.
Let me take you backward. For you to get that 580 million, it took you how many years to get 580 million?
Yes.
But majestically, the moment you step in as the CS, you have been able to grow your portfolio by almost 50%. Come on.
There are some people in Nigeria because so far sijasikia.
But anyway, we were of course utasikia, but
he has no scandal. Very clean man. I don't know why people are neglecting.
We were discussing Matiang'i. So there is this force, that the second force now. We have Gachagua. That is now the mountain. We have Kalonzo. That is now the Ukambani. We have DAP. We have DAP now, that is the Western. And now we have Matiang'i comes in
as part of Nyanza.
And it has come out clearly that Jubilee want to front Matiang'i as their candidate. And it has also come out clearly that Matiang'i is interested in vying because he sent his
resignation.
No, he sent his his tribesmen Onyanka to come and defend him. And I think even Onyanka said something about resignation.
Yeah,
he said that Matiang'i is
resigning to come and concentrate.
Yes, to concentrate on the politics. So if this second force comes in, will they manage to defeat now the first force? Assuming everything is constant. The first force, which is now the government. Yes.
It is a good force. If the only thing that can divide them is when they don't come with an open mind. When they come with fixed mind that Kioni says that it is Matiang'i and Matiang'i, then there's some conflict that will come there. But if they come like, we don't care, bora wo jamaa toke, If it is Matiang'i, the best bullet for us, we go with him. Even if it is deputized by another person from Uluyani or Kalonzo, we don't care. But you see now that coming up with that thing.
So the only problem...
Kalonzo here is the most experienced here. He's the old boy. Do you think you can deputize him? So I think he will come with a kind of fixed mind with his kinsmen. He has a very good heckler.
But they always fail in terms of misadvising him.
That one must come in politics. Even Ruto once said it. Like you see like
I think Kalonzo it's either he's lazy, two.
One is lazy.
He's misadvised.
It's not about being either. He's lazy, then you miss that. Politically, you cannot just be holding
conferences and you expect to win an election.
And you are beating people who are on top of cars.
You cannot win that. I always say that.
At least Gachagua goes to the ground. Ukipanda juu ya gari anapanda
anaenda.
But sasa kuitana kwa meeting na chai, that one
will not work.
So, but he will come with that kiburi. I'm the old boy here. And even his people will start saying, sasa Kalonzo, mnaona aje hata wataenda kwa ground. Mnaona aje ati Kalonzo deputize Matiang'i. Hata watu kwa ground watakuwa Kalonzo uzito for nothing. And that is how Ruto once said before he became the president, sometimes MPs of a certain region wanachochanga mzito wao with the aim of me niingie kazi. Sitamwachilia. The more I push him to go for the big seat, the more my
ground inachangamka.
Matu imechangamka vizuri. The same way Tugati are doing, by the way. They don't care. By the way, it is even sometimes coming.
They know Gachagua will not be in the ballot. But
sometimes naangalia social media hivi mbunge amepost even mtu na respect bana amengangana na hiyo Tugati. Nasema, si ni pure tribalism tu tunamulika. But he doesn't care. Juu anajua through that Tugati na piga madera vizuri. Ground hiyo ndio anataka. And you don't care.
So basically what you are saying that Kenyans are tribal to the core.
Very.
So the third force is ni upepo wa karatasi.
Gen Z. Yeah, because you see from initially they said they are tribalists and whatever. I think for now they need to have a leader. Waache kusema leaderless. This leader will,
and that is the problem that we are having. The moment we have leaders like Morara coming up,
Morara naye
Nalima
Morara naye Gigayeni imevunjika mguu bwana. Umeni kitu kidogo.
But you see, he's trying to change. He's trying to change the caliber of our politics. He wants to come up with,
as in ni support kutoka chini.
Yes.
That you want.
The people own the candidate.
But why is he the one benefiting? Anatuambia gari yetu ndio yako nayo kwa nini?
Unataka gari ilale kwako?
No, angenunua basi.
Gari inalala kwa the headquarters of party. The inject party.
Tununue basi, not Prado.
But Prado is the one that is going to use to transverse. Uko aki-inject.
But venye bia
basi yezi enda huko.
But venye bia vingi sio nangi. Because he is benefiting a lot, even politically, not even politically, hata kibiashara.
I think there is a very...
Do you think the money that ilichango haikubaki after the Prado?
Ilibaki, si ndio anatumianga kufuel gari kwenda kuinject.
Na venye ukimulima analetanga shida bana, chukueni pesa yenu mbona after hapo tuambia. You see, there were some people complaining. Even there is a person.
It's he shared. They utilized venye
Munyoro. Anakuana kitu kingine ya support watoto wenye wana school fees. Alikuwa anasema what I need from Morara ndiache kulimwa. Anasema nimereceive video, nimenunua Prado ikabaki, nikaona hii
kaeka mafuta.
Nitaweka mafuta, nikaona nitengeneze kafuta.
But si
Morara was very nini, ulikuwa unapata picha TikTok zinatoka Morara. So mpaka propagandist wanasema wana Morara amejenga nyumba ya pesa yetu.
Like, but that
just needed to explain.
But that house was given.
But ukimulima when those things are happening, nakwambia bwana kama unaumwa na pesa yako chukua.
Yes, because if you don't want to be part of the change,
but if you
don't complain.
But you should explain the propaganda, especially when it almost making sense that hiyo nyumba bana na inakaa mpya na tumetoka kuchanga na utuambii hivi ndivyo tunatumia doyeni umenyatunywa mazia.
But I think he shared the utilization of the funds.
But he was very reluctant.
What I know, he declined to share was the utilizations due of his security.
But anyway, I'm talking a lot, but sisi wenye wewe tunateta tunaulizana hapo kwa comment wewe ngombe wachanga
you are the part of the problem.
No, we are.
He wants to his idea, and we actually even Okiya Omtatah is trying to do the same thing, just kuchangisha but in a different way, in such a way that the people will own the country, not the candidate owning the people. Because now Kenya Kwanza government will come loaded for the next election. It will come loaded. That's 100% sure.
They even are preparing a campaign
budget. So yes,
I think these people then is that we have some trust with them.
We have there are some candidates who there is Omtatah,
Matiang'i na nani at least watengeneze kao.
Matiang'i, you are putting Matiang'i in the same caliber of trust.
He was in a very tough nini. Sometimes angaliangeni hata nini yenye
Matiang'i in terms of trust.
Bana ukitoa hiyo CS ni moto inakujanga na mashida zote. Mtu
so lazima ujitengeneze vizuri with some resources.
No, as in what I'm saying, yes, he may bring someone when he is the CS.
He left being a billionaire.
Leave alone, nataka sasa tuongelee allegations.
Allegedly.
When you're in that position, by the way, mtu tu kupotea like mtoto wangu ameenda mechi kwa best yake au mechi tulikucheza
kwa. What are you saying? Oh.
Ameenda mechi, yani a girl has gone to have a tournament with a boy. Needed to ball to kucheza ball. Ukiwa ile side na mimi side tunashindana ball. Dem akienda mechi na hajasema, the first person to blame is the CS Interior. Where is my girl? The CS Interior should say, as in, mi naonanga, yes, si ati nawatetea, but the CS Interior being there, you must be ready for all the dirty things that come with the government.
Yes. So what is your point?
My point is, tusilime Matiang'i sana na mambo ya yara na nini na vitu zingine alifanya. Sometimes maybe zingine ni za kumchafua tu.
What if
I believe he's a good man na ni mtu alitumika vizuri kutransist watu from one particular position to another, from digital TV, from analog to digital. He did it very well. Aka change education very well.
Analog to digital kuja na Kibaki.
Wapi? Matiang'i was the first ICT wa Uhuru. Ni alisema kuna TV hiyo KTN sijui station 3 mnaona hiyo hakuna. Tukaanza sasa kununua TV.
Ilikuwa Kibaki.
Kibaki just
StarTimes ilianza lini?
Ni Matiang'i.
Wow.
I swear.
Hey, comment hapo chini.
He was the first ICT of Uhuru, ICT minister. Tumeche
StarTimes.
Enda kuangalia
analog tunaenda digital. Tunatoka analog.
Kibaki ametuacha tukiona akina NTV zikiwa baya hizo sasa. Who brought? Nani alikuwa ICT CS wa Kibaki?
Mimi sijui.
Matiang'i ndiye alileta. Hata ulizia tu mabest. It was Matiang'i who migrated. After that akatolewa ICT after amefanya kazi yake.
Me, I don't have a problem with Matiang'i.
So to me he is a hard worker. Ni mtu maybe anaweza to deliver to another level as a country because we have seen what he can do in a ministry.
He's a very good dictator like Kagame.
And I would like such a person. Mimi ningependa mtu bora
a dictator.
Bora unyimi watu wakizao, but you are taking us to like that was dictatorship.
If it is supposed to be done, it has to be done.
Hiyo yenye mnateta kuna TV nitazifunga mpaka uende duka uwe start. Like that is a good nini because later on we embrace it. all those things that even came with education. So mi ningependa Matiang'i, Morara, I don't trust him so much, but it's okay. Morara and Mutata and any other fresh blood. Maraga
the former CJ.
Kama mtu anataka siasa anaweza advice. But
Nelson Havi is
if we want to liberate this country,
he's saying Maraga is the only person who can liberate this country
because of just legalizing or what, nullifying
null and void.
Just that, and later on it was shambolic.
No, he said that he never took a bribe since he was born.
That is him saying.
Yes, he is sworn.
No problem. People are now swearing identity. And you see, we cannot just put someone to give someone so much credit, but just because of nullifying an election anyway. Because even what followed the day after, si baba anasemanga mtu anasema ameshinda na amekimbia peke yake. Was that an election? Yes, so to me even what followed after was not an election anyway.
It was more of a sham than
even the first one. Yeah, he should have said that bado.
So Uhuru competed against
himself. Ile Raila anasemanga uko mbio peke yako. Hauna mtu anakimbia na wewe. Hapo unasema Wazito nimeshinda na 98. Who asked the 2? And I was not in the race. Who are you giving the 2%? And then the same sasa mwenye alikuwa glorified anatangaza that one.
Let's go back to the conversation. Now the second force. What I predict. These people will not agree.
Yes, that is the problem we will have.
If they don't agree, they all goes to the ballot. None will hit the 50+1.
And they are very important to Akina Morara. Much as they want a tribalist
May I predict a runoff? If these people do not agree, there will be a runoff in this country.
But even in the runoff, you must come up with arrangement like Inani atashikilia.
No, unajua runoff, once you go to the runoff, it's only number 1 and number 2 who compete.
That one can also be dangerous.
It's only number 1 and number 2 who compete. You see, we are 4 of us. Our main goal is to remove this number 1.
So we will need number 3.
So number 1
needs number 3.
Okay, listen. We are 4 of us. We need to remove person A, for example. But the 4 of us, we cannot agree who will be our flag bearer to become our candidate B.
So we go ahead.
So what if we don't agree? Tuseme sawa, twende kila mtu kivyake. You galvanize, you mobilize your own backyard, your strongholds. You come up with your kikapu yako. Let's go to the voting. Whoever becomes number 1 or number 2 will be our candidate. Because we are 100% sure huyu jamaa atafikisha 50+1. Atatoa hapi. Tuseme for example, Mountain iko na candidate. Western iko na candidate. Kisii akona Matiang'i. Ukambani akona Kalonzo. And then we have Kaongo. Hata chimbe wapi haezi pata 50+1.
And you see
now it's either Kaongo will become number 1 and our candidate become number 2, or our candidate become number 1 and Kaongo number 2 or number 3. So whichever becomes number 1 or number 2 within the 4 of us, now we don't have an option. We have to support it. And that's how we can only win that election.
But the only challenge I'm seeing is that factor of a runoff. It's a stated factor in the constitution.
Yes.
Iko na threshold.
Yes.
And I think
iko na threshold aje?
Like there is a threshold to say that now we must have ni mtu anafikisha 50+1.
Yes.
That is the threshold.
Yes.
The threshold to winning is 50+1.
50+1.
So,
and my point is,
me
what I predict, mtu mwenye atapata kura mingi labda 36 or 34%.
You see, my point is this: when we leave that gap, you know, even the government is not full. They know what entails
Rigging.
If not even rigging, they know what entails a threshold to win.
Si ndio hiyo 50+1?
Yeah. So as I was saying before you interrupted me rudely with the rigging issue, that rigging will come only if you give the president, the sitting president, that gap ya kusema ati we can only win through a rerun. So for me, I want it to be like Kenya to decide we want to win this thing once, first round. Juu hiyo rigging ndio sasa, hiyo rigging inaingianga when they see that there is that gap ya kumbe ikakuwa hivi haitarudiwa, so we just need to add something there mabawathawadhanio then to NCC declared. So inafaa kuwa very clear like the way Moi time and when he took Uhuru it was the whole country to end. Yani hata Moi angerudi hapo kusema ati sijui ilikuwa mbaya, it was
no. You know Moi used to lead with the simple minority. Yes. It's because that we didn't have a new constitution that dictates that you should have 50+1. Because what Moi used to do, alikuwa anapata 1.3, the closest akona 1.2, the number 3 akona 1.1. So if they could have combined, yes, like Matiba and Kibaki, au wawili wangeshikana, they could have taken the day. But now because Moi was wise, yeye anasimama anapata 1.3 yake with a simple minority, he leads.
But now that was the only gap that he had during that time. Hiyo ndio gap alikuwa anaangalia.
And that's why the new constitution closed that gap.
When the new constitution came, the only gap left for rigging to the sitting president ni hiyo ya 50+1. So yeye anajiegemea kuwe 50+1. Juu anajua ikikosa niko ndani.
But unajua hata kama ni kuiba, huwezi iba uko 30%, unataka kuiba 50+.
Na hivi tunajiamini hivyo situmpige na 30%. Yani about that is it ko 7.
The problem is these people cannot, I'm assuming hawatasikizana.
When we go to the point of ati kitarudiwa, hapo ndio wanaibianga. It is alleged that even the time of even the first winning of Uhuru ile 2013. Alleged that there was
waliongeza kidogo
kulikuwa na kitu hapa kwa 50+1. But Raila alikuwa amepigwa squarely simple majority,
but
lakini
50+1 haikuwa
Ruto hakugonga vizuri.
Anyway, that's it and done. Leo kilio cha mnyonge. My heart goes to all people who are suffering because of this SHA and SHIF. It's very painful when systems are not working and when the people, we who has given the government the mandate to lead, we come to you and tell you that this thing is not working. The best thing that you can do is to punish us. For example, Grace Njoki, she didn't deserve to be arrested for saying SHA is not working because it's not working. Even today, the 31st of January, the MPs are in agreement that SHA is not working. Even the majority leader is saying it's a good idea, but the implementation, it's the problem. So, katika kilio cha mnyonge leo, please, the government, if you can hear, if you can see, please don't play politics with the health of the citizens. Kilio cha mnyonge. And please, if you're watching, subscribe, click the notification, share widely, and of course, chukua kura. Your kura ni future yako. Believe, belong, become. Peace.
Hey. Truck to the plane, to the truck to the hotel lobby. Me, I go through underground garages, presidential suite on deposit, elevator up to the room. shower up and then we hit the club. Touchdown, gotta see what's up. Area code in my phone. What numbers do I still have? Who do I know from the past?